went into the lab this morning and you crafted the day you would want to have a match here downtown tonight, will look a lot like the conditions we have here tonight at All High Stadium. It is a picture-perfect Saturday night to renew some old rivalries and welcome FC Buffalo's women's side back home to the friendly confines of All High Stadium. FC Buffalo and Erie coming your way here just a matter of moments. Jeff Boyd alongside Mike Babcock on the call here with you here this evening as FC Buffalo's women's side returns for their home opener after years away, a field that saw the creation of this women's side a few years ago and that fantastic run, and now still some familiar faces from that team, joined by some new faces as well, really, in all aspects of the lineup. Will be really a big test for them here today against an Erie side that we were talking before we went on air here. Mike is doing a very good job of putting the ball into the back of the net here so far this season.
Yeah, usually when you say a team is scoring X number of goals per game, it's an average. But Erie is scoring 3 goals per game, and they are literally scoring 3 goals every match they go out there and play. They're sitting at 1-2-1 right now, and they have a -1 goal differential. So I would look for FC Buffalo's team to maybe try to exploit the defense a little bit and try to take advantage of the fact that Erie is a high-scoring team, but they have conceded a lot of goals as well.
It'll be maybe on the offense, led up front yet again, year over year, by the mainstay, the captain, Carissima Catrona. Flanked this season certainly by some unfamiliar faces. Marcy Barbarick not back in the fold. Kelsey Araujo, her other year one counterpart, playing internationally overseas and having herself a heck of a time doing so as well at multiple levels over there. Fantastic to open my social media and see continued success for the former number 9. It is an FC Buffalo debut up top here today for Linda Olmark, who will run by Catrona. Gianna Tuzzolino as well. Sarah Woods likely to factor in at some point off the bench. Skylar Cornell as well, a local product via Canisius University on the bench here as well. Fortifying a back line that sees mainstays Tess Ford and Aaron Weir. Danny Martinez in the midfield in place of Danny Viss here today. So for Nikki Bartholomew, a team that has had such a remarkable run over their first 3 years of existence, looking to find that formula here yet again. Certainly expect the back line and Bridget Mulholland in goal here today for the Wolves to be tested by this Erie offense. It might be one of those games like we saw for the men's side on Tuesday night where 3 just won't quite get the job done here today. The women hoping to pick up where the men left off on Tuesday. That 5-3 victory for the Blitzers, buoyed by Ender Castillo's hat trick. And there are certainly players on this FC Buffalo side here today who are capable of scoring in that sort of fashion. Erie here today in the yellow tops and socks with the blue shorts and the blue numbers on the back here of their uniforms. And here in the first half, we'll be shooting that down to broadcast right. FC Buffalo home side in the all blues with the white numbers on the back here in our opening half. We'll be shooting the net down to broadcast left as that one hits off the shoulder of Aaron Weir. Ricochets and is taken down by Erie, trying to get that offense going early. There is Cameron, plays it forward, read well and played away by Aaron Weir. Far side for Cassia Bach, who gives and gets it back. Trying to split through the midfield and a good swarming presence there in these early seconds for two sides that have become familiar with each other. Stolen away by Catrona. Played to some space on the far side, running forward with her now. Into the area, charging forward, shot, goal! No sense in waiting. It's one touch forward for the FC Buffalo offense, and already, not even a full minute in, it's 1-0 to the Wolves.
Yeah, this is something we've seen very many times before from Catrona. She just does a good job staying on side until the ball is released, and she got right behind the defense and had a clear run on net.
Unstoppable offense from the top. It's like they never left. If you were here, it brings you back to 3 years ago. Deflected back away, and now a little bit of shell shock for the visitors. Feeling like unwelcome guests here on the field back again tonight. So up near side, Weir has to get back to it to the right boot. Lost there by Vanderbosch. Dangerous forward here. That chop shot, though, off the boot of Brooklyn Respecki, a familiar face for those of you who have joined us for these contests over the last couple of years. Goes wide out the back for a goal kick. hoping to get the first touch on for Bridget Mulholland here today. Here's how the Wolves line up in front of Mulholland. It is DeAngelis, Vanderbosch, Ford, and Weir across the back. Martinez, Solomon, and Bach with Tuzzolino in the midfield. And then you saw Olmark and Catrona in combination for that opening goal. Right back come the Commodores into the area. Played back by Respecki to the far side, curled into the area. One hopper on is smothered, but it was out the back before that, I believe. So it will be a corner kick here to Erie. Looks like Mulholland got a piece of it before it came down out of play. So first corner of the match comes to the Commodores from the far sideline. Thought it might have gone out for a goal kick before that. It'll be swung into the area, headed on towards Mulholland, and just bounces wide. Pretty well high-pointed ball there in the area by the Commodores on their first set piece of the match. Not wide by much.
Yeah, it looked like Mulholland misread it just a little bit as she started initially to her right.
Goes out wide of the near side post. Is played forward by Mulholland, taken here by Aaron Weir. Pivoting back is Solomon. Back for the calming force there in the midfield. I should say the middle of that back line. Test forward back in the lineup here again today for FC Buffalo. We're going for a run up the near sideline. Slides forward back to Catrona. Catrona charging in. Trying to go around the defender, and a good job getting back there by Julia Cerniak to get away and get in front of the FC Buffalo captain, who was trying to draw her forward and kind of sneak in behind, but Cerniak all over it. Good forward pressure here for the Wolves. Weir jumping up. Listed officially on the back line is Aaron Weir, but she will play a good 90-plus yards, and playing advantage for a second there on that collision as Cam Vanderbosch took a good shoulder there. Eventually the whistle blows, and it'll be a free kick here for FC Buffalo just on the friendly side of midfield here in our 5th minute of action. Quickly on, the Wolves 1-0 lead. And talk about an FC Buffalo debut for Linda Olmark, who puts home the Catrona pass for her first goal in her first minute on the field for FC Buffalo. And right back in, and that one is rocketed from the far side. Catches the top of the American football upright. Ricochets back into play, but it's out for a goal kick. Will be a goal kick here. McKenna Yarrow in goal here today for Erie. In front of Yarrow, it is Bader, Cerniak, Pinilla, Robertson, Tavares, Seneca, Caccione, Cameron, Emmanuel, and Respecki, the starting 11 for the Commodores here tonight. Pass is taken away from the aforementioned Grace Emmanuel, played back by Weir to Mulholland. And as you see, Bridges shielding her eyes. It is worth noting in these games played back here at All High, the sun will be setting behind the net down to broadcast left throughout the course of the game. And certainly here, especially towards the end of the first half, there's a ball forward, way out to challenge it, and had to there is Yarrow, as Cassia Bachman charging in towards that one. Coming about 3 yards outside the 18-yard box there is Yarrow, doing all she could to prevent that one-on-one. Stolen back in midfield here. There is Cassia getting back to one more time. Taps back for Ford. Pretty good pace of these first 5.5 minutes here back at All High Stadium. Ford has to get across here quickly for Cam Vanderbosch. Weir. Tap forward. That one is off a leg and out for a throw as Weir was trying to go forward up the near side for Solomon. Certainly a different look here for the Wolves this season in midfield up top, especially without Danny Viss in the lineup or available on the bench here today. Catrona swings back for Danny Martinez. Bach back forward. Catrona trying to split the defense, going for a run in deep, and Cerniak again doing all she can. Her only real play is out near side for a throw deep in Erie territory, and they are putting the ball right through to that back line. And Cerniak, for the second time already here today, makes a really nice play getting back to deny Catrona an opportunity.
Yeah, the Erie defense is coming up really tight with the attack, and the FC Buffalo attackers are just staying almost right in line with them. So if they keep that up, it's going to make a good opportunity to spring something upfield.
And even with the Olmark goal, that was a really tight angle shot. They didn't give her a whole lot to work with, just placed perfectly. Again, just about 40 seconds in to her FC Buffalo debut here on the field at All High Stadium. can't dream up a much better scenario than getting a shot 40 seconds in and planting it in the back of the net. Blitzers forward here now. Braun Martinez plays across, and that one is chipped away to the far side, but still space to be had here for FC Buffalo up that far sideline. Turning a shoulder forward. Tucked back inside. Martinez defers to Bach, who comes near side towards Aaron Weir. Plays back for Vanderbosch. Give and go play. Cam sends that one forward. A low drive with the right boot. Volleyed back in there by Solomon. Knocked down by Catrona, but lost in midfield and taken back by Respecki. Getting back to it, and there's a lot of ground being covered up top here so far by Tuzzolino and Kasia Bach. Those two 21 and 24. Ball gets back to Catrona. Plays it forward in, charging forward, and able to get there just before a pair of blue jerseys got into the area to smother that and throw it out is Yarrow. Up the near side is Cameron. That one drilled, knocked away by Vanderbosch. Out for an Erie throw into the hands of the FC Buffalo coaching staff. Nikki Bartholomew back behind the bench here yet again this year. It's been quite a tenure that she's enjoyed here in the short existence of this program. To the point now where you look at where they stand and you just expect a playoff run, not question it. It has been a remarkable start, and there's a foul against Erie. As taken down from the servo there on the far side is Claire DeAngelis. Ford will take the kick on the restart here. Goes back to Vanderbosch. Drives that forward in the direction of Aaron Weir, but it's out of her reach, out of play for an Erie throw. Sent back in there by Robertson. Erie's had some flashes, and there's a foul on FC Buffalo. But they haven't quite been able to get everyone forward. Their best look so far would have been that corner kick. A header looked like Mulholland misread it, but it did leak out wide. FC Buffalo enjoying, I would say at this point, a modest advantage in terms of numbers for possession here. That one headed back into the area, taken by Mulholland, who will send everyone forward. Goaltending will be one of the areas you would think to look to here this year to see how Bridget Mulholland reacts to getting a lot more playing time. Certainly Vanderbosch last year, Emily Kelly the previous couple years. Goaltending, one of the areas where there is a little bit less of a carryover from the previous seasons for the Wolves.
Yeah, might not have the same carryover, but it has always been a position where you can count on the strong performances.
And some familiar faces in front of her on the back line. Lazenby not on the lineup here tonight, but Weir and Ford, who have been day one FC Buffalo defenders, very comfortable and not just out there, but out there playing together. Vanderbosch in her second season with the club. Gwen Giroux's on the bench as well. People who are familiar with training together and playing together over these summers. That's a nice ball at the far sideline, but a little bit too close into Yarrow, who lost it. Coming in, dragged out in front, cleared off the line, and the Situation Room to our right pointing to a spot. I don't think they're going to get it, but it did look like Yarrow clipped a little bit of the leg of the FC Buffalo player on the far side as she lost the initial slide. Tap back forward and carried back here one more time by the Wolves. Almar Catrona is off sides, and shot ended up going over the net irregardless.
Yeah, Yarrow has come out a few times having to try to make the play for herself. And this time it almost came back to bite her. As, like you said, she had a hard time controlling the ball, and it might be just that it looked like it was incidental contact there in the box, and it might have been that contact that disrupted the goal opportunity.
A second pretty good look there for Linda Allmark, who's already had a pretty good first 11 minutes plus on this field, at least in UWS action, that is to say. Taken back by the Commodores. Bounce around in the midfield. Back here. FC Buffalo takes that ball away, played up the far side, and for a run forward again. The Wolves offense back in towards Catrona, trying to get between the two center backs. It's played out towards the back line, and that will result in the first quarter of the match for FC Buffalo. And you just see the attention being commanded out there by the FC Buffalo captain everywhere she goes. That time with a pair of shadows on the pass in for Ullmark. It's out on the far side, and it will be Ullmark who will send this in on the first corner of the match here for the Wolves. Into the shadows, creeping to our left. A low bouncer in is volleyed out. And that one handled with relative ease there by the Erie back line. Shot forward and taken back here. Actually going to be escorted out for a throw there by the FC Buffalo midfield. As we cross into our 14th minute. Danny Martinez. Nice little pivot move there. One of the, again, another player there in Danny Martinez, a day one FC Buffalo player, a calming force there at the defensive midfield position. That's forward back towards Weir. But again, just a little bit out of her reach there as Vander Bosch and Weir trying to dial that in, out for another Erie throw.
Yeah, one thing we've talked about season after season is positional versatility, and Erin Weir definitely shows that already coming up from her defender spot.
Nice job there, making some moves by Grace Emanuel for Erie, fighting through the opposing number 4, Erin Weir, able to nutmeg her, and Weir not giving up an inch. Retained here by Cameron, Kirsty Cameron. That one blocked out, trying to go between the legs of her mark, and it's turned away back up the field here to Catrona. Catrona sends that pass forward, trying to spring a teammate on the far side. Is charging forward is Ullmark to the area. Back in one more time, shot, goal! It's deja vu all over again as Catrona sends Ullmark forward, and welcome home. It's 2-0 to the Wolves.
Yeah, I was about to say that play, that setup to that play looked very familiar. Just Ullmark out in front, great run. This time a little bit better of an angle to finish it off, but she did not miss.
And Carissima Catrona, who leads the all-time FC Buffalo record book in just about every measurable statistical department, adds a pair of assists already to her impressive tally. And how about the debut for number 3? She's already got 2, and she is flying around out there. Slid back forward one more time. It's blocked off a leg, and players tangled up, and Tuzolino looking around for a call that she's not going to get. I think the defender thought she was going to get one, too. That one is out off of Solomon for an Erie throw. And much like the men's return home on Tuesday night, Mike, it's hard to imagine Nikki Bartholomew within the realm of realism, dreaming of a better first 15 minutes here today. Slid forward by Respecki. Nice ball back in. Weir's got to get back in a hurry. Watching that one towards the back line, and it is kept in the back. Nicely played by the Commodores. Turn back forward, Emmanuel curling shot. And that one just tucks over the bar off the top of the net, out the back for a goal kick. Nice little turn there with the right boot by Grace Emanuel to almost put the Commodores on the board.
Yeah, Emanuel almost took advantage of Erin Weir being in a very tough position there in the back line. She wasn't in a great position to just let it go over the line for a goal kick, but she wasn't really able to set herself for a pass to clear it out.
Yeah, Weir was trying to watch it out the back to get the call, and there will be a foul, or an offsides flag, excuse me, up on the far side here against the Wolves. Can get what they were going for. Weir's like, well, I got 2 players on me. I'm trying to just shield this ball out for a goal kick, but the Commodores did a really nice job there. Not overcommitting, not overplaying the ball, getting it back in and creating that good opportunity. And those are the kind of looks that Erie's going to have to find a way to keep creating here against this Buffalo defense. Like we talked about in our open here today, this is an Erie team that comes in their 4 games averaging 3 goals a game. And by that we mean they have scored 3 goals exactly in every game they've played here so far this season. So you know that this is a team, especially with Respecki and Emanuel up front, they can score. But FC Buffalo has set the task high here with a pair in the first 15 minutes. to enjoy a 2-0 lead here so far. Weir will let that one go out here for a throw back in front of the Buffalo bench. Takes it back in here, given back to her by Solomon. Middle of the field here for Cassia Bach. DeAngelis. Far side, Tuzzolino trying to cut inside. Nice little move around one defender. Catrona takes a bump, turning back with it. As we see them do from time to time, Catrona and Ullmark have switched sides here. Catrona now on that far side trying to draw different defensive matchups and see if they don't try to send Ullmark up the near side. Juggle back forward in the air there by the aforementioned Linda Ullmark. Play down, nice play forward by Vanderbosch, but she ran out of real estate surrounded by 3 Erie midfielders. Taken back by Respecki, slid back for Robertson. Space to be had on the far side for the Commodores in counterattack. Try to go back to Robertson, and it's cut off and read perfectly by Claire DeAngelis. Back for Vanderbosch. Plenty of space here, plays forward for Solomon. Curling ball on the far side, going to be a run to be had, but it's tracked down. DeAngelis up to it. Inside, Catrona give and go. Long run up that far side now, still giving it chase. And is escorted back by the back line to Yarrow as Claire DeAngelis with a good 80-90 yard run up the far sideline. But it has won appears at the end of that a throw for FC Buffalo, ultimately on that far side. Volley back in towards the back line, running out of room, it's a goal kick. Unenviable angle trying to turn that ball back into play with a defender right on it as well. Maybe try to slide it back in, get some contact out for a corner, but ultimately neither of them able to get a hand on it, or a foot on it, I should say. Yeah,
but when you have less than a yard to the end line, you're probably going to have a very hard time making that play.
Into our 20th minute now as that ball's played back forward, knocked down here by the Wolves. Right back in. Ullmark. Beautiful move. Footwork forward. Trying to go back there was Tuzzolino in the direction of the captain Catrona, but it's played away on the far side back across midfield. I don't know if the official statisticians are listening to me, but I would be curious to know if anyone has ever scored their first 2 FC Buffalo goals on this field any faster than Linda Ullmark has here tonight. It took her less than 15 minutes to net a pair. And you can see, as we've seen over time, if this streak keeps forward, it has been very much a plug-and-play forwards around Carissima Catrona with good speed and good finishing, and good things will happen. We've seen it with Arajo and Barbaric, with Woods, and Ullmark appears to be cut from that same kind of finishing cloth.
Well, they do have a type of forward, and it is that fast type that can play both sides of the field. You can put them on both right and left side.
Catrona took that one out of the air and won it back, forcing some pressure back on Robertson, whose only play is to go out. And just the constant threat of FC Buffalo's number 8 lingering and forcing a throw out of basically a 1-on-4 with no one else for the Wolves across midfield. It is Weir who will trigger it back in, but split the difference, goes right back to the Commodores, and they've got some space now with Weir a little bit further up the field. And similarly, the Commodores a little bit discombobulated, but Robertson is able to get there and track that down before it goes out. Curls a bouncing ball, takes a deflection that is turned back up the field, and now for an Erie throw by Cam Vanderbosch. Erie has had their moments. When they're getting towards the area, they're getting some pretty good looks. But where they have struggled is getting the ball just through that back part of the FC Buffalo midfield. They've had a couple of pretty good opportunities tucked just wide, have not forced a save quite yet from Bridget Mulholland, as that ball is taken away in midfield, and the Wolves go forward one more time. On the far side in Catrona. Catrona to the area, shot, save made. A low left-handed save by Yarrow, who guessed right and took one away to keep this one within distance.
Yarrow came up huge there, as one-on-one with Catrona is not an enviable position to be in. Like you said, she guessed right. She made a huge save and kept this a 2-goal game.
Catrona trying to use her momentum against her and slide it back where she took that step from. Yarrow able to put on the brakes and get that hand down and not just stop it, but keep it from rolling back behind her as well, which can be so difficult on those plays. It is another day, another masterclass in 21 plus from FC Buffalo's captain. Tozzolino. Bach. Catrona. Nice pivot up the far side, knocked out of play. And they have seen something they like, Mike, on that far side. Nicky Bartholomew swapping Allmark and Catrona. Now Catrona is just driving and attacking at that side. Good recovery defensively there by the Commodores on that back line, trying to get that ball up the field. And I will say, as we said at the beginning of every season, I believe we've been here, being somewhere in the stands at All High makes this a little bit of a unique sounding broadcast sometimes. We are in the bleachers, surrounded by the fans on all sides. There's the Situation Room ahead of us to our right, which means sometimes you'll hear the drums and you'll hear the chants a little bit more than you hear Mike and I. And certainly we hear them sometimes more than we hear ourselves in our headphones. But it's what makes the atmosphere and the environment of broadcasting here and being able to bring these games to you so unique.
Yeah, I don't know of any other place where the broadcast crew is literally in the middle of the energy of the fans.
And we sit at about the 45-yard line towards the right side of the field of the American football field. About 15, 20 rows away from the track that surrounds the field here at All High Stadium, here in the back of Bennett High School in downtown Buffalo, New York. So you ever come to a game here, like, who are those guys with the microphones in the stands? There's no way it's them. Oh, I rest assured it is. Forward to Allmark, charging forward one more time, going into the area now. Allmark across, save made, kicked away, still loose out the back, to the top of the area, driving chance off a body punched in the air, into the arms of Yarrow, who had to make a big first save on Allmark, going for the natural hat trick 24 minutes in. And a big ricochet there off a charging forward. And FC Buffalo had 6, maybe 7 to the area by the end of it. Sharks circling for a third goal.
Yeah, one of the Erie defenders came up huge, knocking that last shot high up in the air. Otherwise, that could have been the third goal of the game.
Right back, Catrona leaves it low, shot on, save made as Tozzolino topped that one out the back for a corner. Catrona takes a step to her left, almost lost possession, but is able to get that pass across around 2 defenders. It's the second corner of the match for the Wolves. This one from the near side here, nearing 25 minutes gone by in our opening half. Second quarter of the match for the Wolves. First from this side is curled towards the back post. Bounces down to the area and just out of the reach. I believe it was Kasia Bach who was on that far side trying to get a boot to it. It's played out for a Buffalo throw. FC Buffalo is all over Erie these last 5 minutes. It was, in spite of the 2-goal lead, not like they were dominating possession numbers. They really were scoring by the quick strike variety of those 2 goals. The plays on the one-touch forward by Catrona to Allmark for both the FC Buffalo goals here so far. But here over these last few minutes, Mike, we have seen Buffalo really park their offense towards that 18-yard box down to our left.
Yeah, this FC Buffalo team is capable of striking in many ways. Like you said, they've got their 2 via the quick strike, but they are capable of playing a possession game and working it down into the box and getting the goal down low.
Erie trying to find a way to get back to possession here as that ball is jostled around in midfield and finds a Commodore boot. Ron Martinez had taken it away and ended up having possession lost herself. Erie trying to get something going here, still looking for their first shot on target. Meanwhile, unofficially, the Wolves have 4 to this point, including a pair of goals. That's turned out to be a pretty good spot for a throw here for the Commodores. They're trying to get some bodies forward here. Looking for a body in the area. That ball is blocked out the back. It'll be a corner here for the Commodores. So a pretty good response here to that constant Buffalo pressure. And Erie on their first set piece, Mike, saw them hit a header that went narrowly wide, and now Mulholland will truly be dealing with the sun and the shadows here. Not the easiest time to high point a ball for the Buffalo keeper. It's swinging from that far side, headed out. Read really well there by Vanderbosch. Comes back in the area underneath a body. Could have been a handball called there. Volley back out a second time by the Buffalo defense. Still pressure forward by the Commodores. Bron Martinez trying to get that one away. Ford trying to get that one away. Lots of feet in there, but Erie standing strong in possession. Slid back forward in by Cameron. Save made by Mulholland. And a dazzling first touch for the Buffalo keeper. Still the Commodores keeping the pressure on. It's volleyed around. Solomon out the near side. We're coming running for it, and she will get there to keep it in play. Really nice play there by Kirsten Cameron by Erie to get that ball forward. And Spring Emanuel's had a couple of really nice touches here tonight as Emanuel. Forward back for Buffalo as the Wolves try to take a breath. Erie yet again comes close to drawing onto the board. Played back forward, lots of space. Striding into it, Catrona. Catrona cuts to her right, utilizing that quick twitch speed, curls a ball in, the knockdown, coming back to it, Allmark, tough angle shot blocked away out the back for a corner. And Allmark has fit right into this offense.
Yeah, Allmark has fit right in with the offense. She's had the 2 goals and about 2 or 3 other dangerous opportunities. And we've seen a move from Catrona on that last one as well that we've seen a lot of times before that have resulted in goal as well with that cutback to the middle.
Tozzolino got a piece of it, but it's volleyed away out the back line. Taken by DeAngelis, who will chip it back in. Headed forward off the bar. Back in play. Diving effort. And the save made by Yarrow. On a pair of chances for Tess Ford. Header off the bar, and a second one that Yarrow in pure desperation able to knock back out of play for a throw.
Yarrow came up huge there, recovering well after the ball off the bar, as that could be a hard one to get back into position from.
Castrona takes a push in the back, and referee playing advantage for a moment has blown her whistle. And this one on the edge of danger. Just about 29 yards out of goal. From the near side, they're going to mark it almost exactly 30 yards here out. Aaron Weir will step over it, and we'll see how FC Buffalo will take this. Weir, good both directions. She certainly is capable from this kind of range if they want to take it direct. We'll see what she does. Chips that ball towards the back post into a sea of humanity. It's knocked away. Intended there for Tozzolino. Comes back to Weir. Vanderbosch forward, and they're going to have to be careful getting back. Numbers for Erie and a lot of space for the Commodores in counterattack. FC Buffalo's back line does get back. It's played forward, and the flag is up. Mulholland got it anyhow. Offside is the call. Action-packed first near half hour from Mile High Stadium tonight as we near the end of our 30th minute on what will be a free kick to the Wolves. Mulholland looks like she will step up and take it herself here. And just drills it near side to Cam Vanderbosch. Martinez gives it away, gets it back, swings that pass far side, lost a little bit of it, and DeAngelis tracking back won't get there, so they give it right back to Erie on a throw, nearing now 30 yards away from goal. Vanderbosch's first clearance attempt is blocked. Does a really good job, though, does Cam recovering, not panicking, not losing her spacing, gets it back. Still, though, pressured as Vanderbosch. Swings it up the field, justed down by Allmark. Allmark slides that pass inside to Tozzolino, turns her attention up the far sideline, sending that one well forward. Claire DeAngelis going to track it down on the far sideline and does get there. DeAngelis now with blue jerseys joining her forward, makes a nice move towards the area. Lost possession out the back, but it was kicked away, and this will be a Buffalo throw well on the friendly side of the field here for the Blitzers. And let's see, they're using DeAngelis very much the same way that they use Aaron Weir, which is to say that entire sideline is yours, whether you're defensively, offensively minded, whatever the situation calls for. And that is partially because of the confidence they have in their center back should anything go awry.
Right, and like you said, they're activating both of their backs, and DeAngelis came up as there was no Erie defender on the right side of the field. Everybody had shifted over to the left side of the field, leaving that side open.
The attention drawn by Catrona and to an extent also by Aaron Weir, who patrols that near side. Vanderbosch gets back to it quickly and escorts it back to Mulholland. Bridget has to feel buoyed by that quality first save that she made here a few moments ago. Getting that first one in the books always does help your confidence, helps the nerves settle a little bit. Here goes Allmark, and she's got a lot of attention on her now as number 3. Rochester's coaching staff having to shift a little bit more of the formation in her direction, as yet again she's now on the near side. And you'll just see Nikki Bartholomew and the FC Buffalo coaching staff swap those forwards, get different looks for their forwards, create different looks for the defense. And Catrona and Allmark, who play really differently in how they attack a defense, really requests at all times constant vigilance from the back line for the Commodores. Nice pair of touches there by Allmark, but you ran out of real estate. Jet back out by Robertson. Weir. Solomon. Tucked back for Ford, who just by millimeters, missed getting herself on the board here for that center back position on that last FC Buffalo foray off the corner kick. Pressured forward, stolen away by Allmark. Across in front, Catrona stops it, juggles it forward. Back to Allmark. Allmark trying to cut inside, not a lot of room, goes back to Tuzzolino. And they finally ran out of room as they pass it around the area, and the Erie defense is able to recover. Loss on the counterattack and sent back ahead. Curl back in, Allmark is offside. That's the word I was going with the whole time, don't question it. Tried to hold up there, did Allmark, but I think she knew a little bit as she looked over across as she made that contact. Not off by much. Pair of FC Buffalo subs here in the 34th minute. That is Sarah Woods and Skylar Cornell for the Wolves. As that is Bach and I believe Tuzzolino, indeed, who will come off here. Skylar Cornell, locally, plays collegiately at Canisius University. She's wearing number 7. Sarah Woods, a returning face here to the FC Buffalo side, also plays her collegiate soccer locally at the University of Buffalo. She's wearing number 11. And there's a push. And you'll see teams have to do this with Carissima Catrona, who gives up nothing on possession. Not the most physically imposing player on the field, number 8, but not for lack of tenacity.
And now also Erie has to worry about the fact that Woods is on the field because she's a capable finisher herself.
You wonder if they might kind of go 3 across the top here now, Nikki Bartholomew. Sensing there's mayhaps another goal to be had in this half. And Cornell, a pretty good finisher as well by her own right. That was where that ball was going, in the direction of Skylar Cornell. Got tied up with one of the defenders. Referee says play on as it rolls into the hands of McKenna Yarrow, who has been busy in these first 35 minutes in goal for Erie here today. Drives that one forward across midfield. Taken out of the air, but played to the FC Buffalo coaching staff as Nikki Bartholomew gets in on the action and plays it here for Weir. Martinez. Solomon back for Ford. Ford across the field, tracked down by Skylar Cornell. Gets back for DeAngelis, who cuts inside here now. Ran out of room, but it ricochets back forward to Catrona. Got the result she was wanting, but not the path mayhap she was envisioning. As Erie comes back and recovers on the far side, sliding that one back out of play to allow the defense to reset is DeAngelis. We have a pair of Erie subs as well. That is Ellie Mills, number 8, and Noah Hashmanai, number 18, who will check on for the Commodores.
The early subs don't surprise me, as both teams are just their games are right early have been pushing the ball up the field, so early substitutions are not surprising to me right now.
It's Christy Cameron and Kelly Caccione who check off here for Erie. In our 37th minute, both teams going to the benches early. Certainly can be a little hot on the turf field here. It is very, like we mentioned in the open, it is very nice outside today here in Western New York. Slight breeze, very few clouds, low 70s pretty much all day. but it is certainly warmer on the turf than it is for us here in the shade in the stands. One of the perks of the broadcast gig. They don't make us stand out in the sun. Mike and I are both also far too pale to spend an entire 90 minutes standing in the sun with no repercussions. Taken away by the Commodores, trying to get something going here in these final 8 minutes plus any action of stoppage time. We'll keep our eye out on the near side official for that announcement as we get a little bit further down the line here now in our 38th minute. The opening half that saw a pair of FC Buffalo goals cut from the same cloth. Linda Allmark in the first and 15th minute on goals attacking the far side, assisted by the FC Buffalo captain, Carissima Catrona. You could have dropped them next to each other and maybe question if they were the same. Back to the attack here come the Wolves. A lot of speed and players forward here for FC Buffalo, especially now with those subs, with Cornell and Woods on the field here. And that one played by Erie, but all the way back down the field. Mulholland will have plenty of time to play this one back inside the area. Backs forward here for Cam Vanderbosch. Seen Tess Ford roam a little bit more forward than mayhaps we have at other points. Here, part of that mayhaps is confidence and comfort in Vanderbosch, who has played very well here so far tonight for FC Buffalo. Testing the back line here now. Again, much like Buffalo did, Erie with a pair of subs with offensive-minded aspirations out there. Nice play to get that one forward here. Chipped away by FC Buffalo, slid back across the field into some empty space, and not able to get there before it's tracked down by Robertson is Catrona, who will block that one out for an Erie throw. Erie has settled down a little bit after that second Buffalo goal in the fury of the FC Buffalo offense that followed. A couple of really nice saves by Yarrow, and if you see the Commodores draw their way back into this game, you can point to the saves on Catrona, Ford, and Allmark, a trio of them really in about 6 or 7 minutes of action that kept this game at 2-0. Not the position you want to be in for the Commodores, but again, this is an Erie team that scores 3 goals a game. They can score goals here, and FC Buffalo hasn't cleared that mark yet. Now Erie does allow a good amount of goals, which is how you score 3 goals a game and come in at 1-2-1. The offense has been clicking. It's been the defense where they've had their troubles. So if they can find a way to keep Allmark, Catrona, and company off the board here, you think they've got to be in a pretty good spot in the second half here, Mike. So the work far from done for FC Buffalo.
And Erie's attack has shown why they score 3 goals per game, as they have gotten good opportunities.
They've got some numbers here right now on the inside, getting back there. Nice play by Solomon to block the first one away. Ashmanot. Curl back in, a bouncer, and Mulholland is on the end of it as Tavares put that in the area. Long ball forward up the far side. A lot of space in front of Skylar Cornell, turning on the Jets. Showing that Division I speed of number 7 here out the far side. That is the most remarkable thing I've been able to call some of Skylar's games at the collegiate level. This is how much ground she can cover. And if this is the first time you've watched her here with FC Buffalo, it is remarkable the speed that she has. That one's going to go all the way back, and Vanderbosch will watch it as it rolls out for a goal kick. '41st minute of action here. The shadows you can see creeping out behind the net to the left. Ball towards midfield now. And as we get into the second half, we'll get a little bit more interesting to play in the air, as you'll see some of them lost in lights that have turned on the far side, and some of them being crept in by shadows. There's a, I would say, slight advantage to being the home side and picking to defend the right side goal in the first half, and then not having to worry about the sun setting in the second half. That's a handball. Respecki not happy about it, but not much of an argument to be had there, truly. Forward here to Weir, trying to go inside, but cannot get that one back to Catrona. Robertson, who's had herself a really nice game there, number 17 for Erie. Sends another one forward to the far side in the direction of Ellie Mills, but it's turned away from her by Ford. Mulholland back across the field. Vanderbosch to the top of the area. Solomon. Up the field, going for a run and getting around Robertson is Allmark. Up the near side, Allmark turks that one into the area, chipped on to goal, and smothered and held by Yarrow. Trying to spring that one to Cornell, but too close to the Erie keeper.
That first step by Allmark on that. Robertson has been playing, like you pointed out, very, very strong today, and Allmark just took a first step and got around her very quickly.
Erie emptying the bench here late in the half. Played on the far side. They'd have 3 more subs ready to check in here, assuming that we likely get a whistle at some point to bring them on here. It's Bandura there, number 15. Ingracia, number 22. And Anna Gregor, number 20. The 3 in yellow and blue on the near side. There's a foul on Buffalo. And we'll see if they come on here for the upcoming free kick. It does not appear to be their intention. From the near sideline, it is Robertson who stands over the ball. Just shy of 50 yards away from Mulholland. Chip forward in the air, dangerous play, and a nice job out of the air by Danny Martinez. Calm and collected, the veteran presence in midfield on that touch. A couple of Erie players behind her had it landed in that space. Right back forward, nice ball by Respecki, and Vanderbosch and Mulholland. Good communication there. Mulholland throws it away to the far side as DeAngelis gives it right back to her. Just about 2 minutes away from first half stoppage time here at All-High Stadium. Same score we've had for just about half an hour here. Now 2-0 FC Buffalo, a pair of goals for Linda Allmark. That one is out for a Buffalo throw, and Wheeler will get the changes here now for Erie. Last few seconds, extra breath for the Commodores. Extended halftime for some of the players who will look to bring that offensive fury to the second half and try to find those 3 goals they've become so accustomed to. Weir with a throw for Buffalo. Robinson. That one caught Allmark. Right off the side there. You can see her crouch over. It took mayhaps part of the toe of Robertson there right underneath the rib cage. Completely incidental contact there, but still does not, whether it's incidental or not, it doesn't feel good. That one's back out again. FC Buffalo inch by inch up the field with another throw. Solomon pressuring that one, and she's going to get called for the foul there. Not the biggest amount of contact you'll see, but certainly did help escort the Erie player to the turf. A few seconds away from stoppage time here now in our first half. Low line drive. Chip back away here by Solomon. Curls that ball forward, trying to get in to Skylar Cornell, who took a pretty good jolt of contact there. On the far side here, one last foray for Erie. Respecki trying to turn her way back inside, ran out of room, chested down by Vanderbosch and volleyed back forward. It's a foul on the Commodores in the process, and it's been a pretty good first half there at the center back position for FC Buffalo's number 20. Standing next to Tess Ford, who's become the model of consistency at the center back position. And you know, Nikki Bartholomew would love to cultivate another group of players who can play both with Ford, and if anything happens, you need Ford to play somewhere else, or Ford's not available, to have someone who could step into her shoes. Not been an easy task over these last few years to find someone who can play on that back line the way that Tess has. That is forward, and just about 2 minutes of stoppage time has come and gone with relatively little incident. We are through one half here at All-High Stadium, and it is Linda Allmark dazzling in debut with a pair that has the Wolves up 2-0 at the halftime break. Mike and I will take a chance to catch our breath and enjoy some of the younger players heading out on the field to kick the ball around themselves here. Back with you in just a little bit. You're watching UWS Soccer here live from Buffalo, New York. Welcome back to All High Stadium, downtown Buffalo, New York. Just a few moments away from second half action here in this UWS matchup here between FC Buffalo and the Erie Commodores. It is 2-0 to the home side. A pair of first half goals in her FC Buffalo debut by Linda Allmark in the first and 15th minutes have the Wolves up 2-0, and it was so key to get that big start off, Mike. We talked about it off air a little bit coming in. That was the big point here this week for the Wolves coming in after what happened last week.
Yeah, this FC Buffalo women's side lost their first regular season match in almost 2 calendar years last game against Steel City. And Nikki Bartholomew during the week said, hence our training session was a lot of finishing and ensuring we're more clinical, and also just minimizing mistakes, especially in the midfield as the season progresses. We're a team that has a lot of attacking, so when we lose the ball, can we win can we win right away with our high press? And this game has shown that yes, they can. They are coming back and bouncing back, and their training from this week is reflecting on how they're playing this game today.
Yeah, 2 goals and a handful of other high-quality chances that were denied by McKenna Yarrow in goal for Erie, who has been very good tonight in spite of the current score line for Erie Commodores. There's a team in Erie that scores. It'll be big for FC Buffalo to come out here in this half again, keep that pressure on, and see if they can't find some more finishing, some more goal scoring. It's been the 2 players at the top who have been that here all game, as it looks like Cornell will start up top here for FC Buffalo. She came on late in the first half next to Catrona as we are underway here in our second half. And you can see the shadows have made their way largely across midfield by this point, as the sun has begun its descent behind the school building down behind broadcast left. Resetting here for our second half, Erie Commodores, the visitors in the yellow with the blue numbers on the back. Pressing forward here as Mulholland's well off her line to escort that one forward to Erin Weir. They're attacking that goal down to our left here in half number 2. FC Buffalo, the home side in the all blues with the white numbers on the back. We'll be attacking the net down to broadcast right here in our second half. Renewing the old FC Buffalo Erie Commodores rivalry here on a beautiful, picture-perfect Saturday night. DeAngelis has to be careful. It goes back to Mulholland, who gets it up to some empty space. And Erie with some good pressure. FC Buffalo in their own end a little bit shaky here so far to start the second half. Vanilla plays it in here for Erie Commodores. Knocked down and sent back across the field by Kasia Bach. Solomon forward, getting ahead towards Cornell. That one is knocked away. Drilled across the field there by Bandura. Out on the far side for a Buffalo throw. It's Morgan Kolniszewski, who has come on for the Wolves at the start of the second half, up top as well, number 19. In attack here for FC Buffalo, as they will utilize a lot of their department of strikers, as you see Sarah Woods out there still as well. So Allmark at least to start the half. Now they do have re-entry here in UWS, so they can certainly send Allmark back on. We'll take an extended spell here with Kolniszewski, Cornell, and Woods on the attacking side with Catrona.
And Kolniszewski is a good distance shooter, so she could definitely lengthen out the Erie defense, opening up some room in the 18-yard box.
We saw some nice flashes from Morgan last season in attack in the time that she got. And I'm sure that she's one of the players who Nikki Bartholomew would be more than happy to see her really demand more of that time, demand more of a role. Here is Catrona, flags that one down on the end of it, steps inside to her left. The captain sends that one across the field, knocked down, charge forward, chip shot is out wide. It may have taken a change of direction. Indeed it did. It's a corner for FC Buffalo there as Kasia Bach's shot went off one of the Erie defenders out the back. It's the 4th corner of the match for the Blitzers, and the first one here in our second half. From the far side, it will be Kolniszewski who will take it here. Allmark had taken the first 3, but she is not presently on the pitch. It'll be that left-footed drive forward here by Kolniszewski, trying to get it to Woods, who chips that one towards the goal, but out the back for a goal kick wide far side. First real touch we've seen from Sarah Woods since she came on, about 10 minutes left in the opening half. Erie has had flashes in this match, certainly in the offensive half, but they have not been able to string possession together. And part of it has been the play of that high press, keeping the pressure on the back line and really keeping the ball away from the Erie attackers for long periods of time. Nice play there by DeAngelis, who's very quietly over here, Mike, on this now near sideline. Having herself a real nice night there, number 9. She's had to get back in a hurry, though. That swung back across the field and forward. Bandura gets swing in too close there to Mulholland, who will simply get herself on the end of it and roll that near side forward for Cam Vanderbosch. Very calm, good night for the 4 on the back line for the Wolves here so far. But that pass forward is intercepted by Bandura. Space to be had forward here for Erie. Slid into the area. Can Vanderbosch getting across, blocks that one out the back. It's off last of the Erie player. It is a goal kick. Nice recovery there from Vanderbosch. Looked like there was some space to be had. A little bit of an avenue opening up between Weir and Vanderbosch on that far side for a moment. Some positive signs for Erie, but positive signs have not led to goals quite yet. It was a really nice save about midway through that first half by Mulholland. She's been tested a couple times by shots that came close but just bent away from the goal from this Erie offense. Drilled back in and headed away from trouble by Ford. Pinilla up to it, slides that one middle of the field, taken down by Emmanuel, who had maybe the best 2 opportunities in that first half, truly, for Erie. Gina Emmanuel back to it. Robertson, who has done as much as she can for that far side to keep this Buffalo offense at bay. Trying to mark now Skylar Cordell. That one is headed on. And Bandura got a good piece of it. Just couldn't quite get it to curl its way inside the near side post. It's a goal kick. And Bandura has been very involved here in the second half already.
Yeah, Bandura just couldn't get enough of it to redirect it hard on goal. So she was just a little under it, and it basically kind of slid off of her and over the end line instead of back towards goal.
Actually, looks like, my apologies, that might have been Ingracia there, 22, who got that last flick on, number 22 with the pink boots there. I appreciate when players have flair like that. Referee plays that one on as Emmanuel slides it near side. Situation room not happy. Space to be had for the Commodores. Ball curled in, is out of the reach of its intended target. Goes out the back for Aaron Weir. On the far side of the reach of Kolniszewski. Flagged down by Robertson. Erie trying to get something going here, but it's taken away. Good pace forward here. Woods trying to go back to Catrona. A little bit too much on that. Black down back by Catrona. Taken here by the Erie backline. So the cross by Hannah Bader. Here's the goalie. Yarrow plays ahead. Robertson. That one went out for a throw. As I was saying, I appreciate when players wear very distinct equipment, whether it's the cleats or like an armband or something, especially as the shadows set on these bright colored jerseys. It gets a little hard sometimes to pick out numbers. But I think we'll find Ingracia with relatively little effort here from where we sit in the bleachers here at All-High Stadium. You've heard the voice of Mike Babcock here to my right here all evening long. Jeff Boyd back on the call with you. Thankful to be back here for, hard to believe, already 4 seasons together on the call for FC Buffalo's women's side. Looking to repeat some of the amazing history that has already come to this club in their short existence. It all started right here on this field before they redid everything. We went on some voyages for a couple of years to some great stints at DeUville, Williamsville South last year with amazing success and great hosts in both regards, but there is something to be said for the homecoming back here for the women's side this year.
Yeah, there's always something special about your longtime home ground. And for FC Buffalo, All-High has been that longtime home ground.
Katrina tried to go back to Kolniszewski. Nice play there, though, by Pinilla, who gets it away from her. On the near side, Mills back to the top of the area. And ricochets out where it's collected and turned away by Bach. Woods. Give and go. Trying to go one-touch pass over on the far side. Back to Woods. Did Weir, but too much pace on it. Slides out here. 54th minute of action as we're into our second half here. Still riding the score we have now for about 40 minutes of action here now. 2-0 to the Wolves. Melinda Ullmark with a pair of goals in the first half of her FC Buffalo debut. Charging forward here now is Emmanuel. Ran out of real estate. That Buffalo defense can get back and close in a hurry. DeAngelis sends that one near side, knocked down by Piniella. Back to DeAngelis, middle of the field for Wood. She's got some options, slides that one forward, and Cornell is offsides. And from where we sit, Mike, a pretty open and shut case. I think Cornell a step, maybe two ahead of the play.
Yeah, she initially was good, but if she had to hold up just a second as the play got slowed down slightly in front of her, and that's what put her offsides.
Be a free kick off of that here for the back line of Erie. Piniella has to get to that one. Wasn't expecting it for a moment, but does recover her pace on the give and go pass. Has it one more time. Paula Piniella. Slid back forward in the direction of Ellie Mills, who was one of the late first half subs for Erie. Intercepted. Taken away from DeAngelis, who somehow finds it back. Not quite sure how that ball just stayed put under her foot, but she will put it back to Vanderbosch across the field for Weir, and Buffalo's defense will take their time here now. Ford. Spear down in the middle of the field, slid back ahead, gets through the Buffalo back line, but into a space that is entirely vacant, and Erin Weir will take her time back to it. Vanderbosch. Solomon had to be careful there with Ingracia lurking. Ford. Buffalo's back line taking the time and space given to them. Turns ahead to the captain, Catrona. That one is blocked out. Nice play getting back there by Cerniak, who got that one out of the air. Solomon pressing, stolen away. Cornell forward on the far side. Kolniszewski going for a run to it now. Kolniszewski boxed in, and a great job getting back by Robertson, who has been doing a really nice job on that sideline, but her only play is out for a Buffalo throw. And the speed of Skylar Cornell creating that opportunity, albeit short-lived for the moment for the Wolves. Woods towards the area, and every time you look at Buffalo's number 8, can't remember the last time I looked at Catrona, and there were not 2 yellow jerseys on both sides of her. They are trying to keep her away from just establishing possession. A pair of helpers in the first half assisting on both of the FC Buffalo goals. But it's that finishing touch that she brings that carries the weight in the minds of the defense. Sliding in is DeAngelis, got it forward, but it's only Erie players all around. Slid back, Catrona got a partial boot to it, and DeAngelis comes back in to knock it out for a throw.
Yeah, Catrona is one of those players you have to keep an eye out for. You really, as Erie defenders, you really have to make sure the ball doesn't even get to her to be able to go through her, and that explains the bracketing her at every step.
Emmanuel slides to Mills, try to go back to the area, but cut off and played off a leg, and that will be a Buffalo throw, I would think. Indeed it will. As Emmanuel slid in trying to just block it down, instead it hit off the outside of her shin guard and went out for a Buffalo throw. It's not been per se an overly physical game between these two teams, but every ball contested. It's a lot of jostling, fighting for space. Kind of way that comes with the rivalry game. That is a turnover in a bad spot for Buffalo. Shot on, and that one up over the crossbar, but deflected on its way will be an Erie corner. And near a gift to Bandura, who just walked right into it and charged it with some assistance over the bar.
Yeah, that was not a well-advised pass by Vanderbosch there, as she just sent it down the middle. She tried to send a deep ball down the middle. It just didn't have enough to get through and was easily intercepted.
Third Erie corner of the match, first in our second half, into a sea of humanity in the area, and volleyed out by Tess Ford, who's been involved in corner kicks on both ends. Ford with a header on an offensive corner kick for FC Buffalo off the crossbar. One of many opportunities Buffalo had to push this to a 3-goal lead. Headed on, punched away by Mulholland, and volleyed out of danger. Nice play there by the Buffalo midfield. getting back and helping out after Mulholland's initial touch, and there's a foul on the Wolves. This one up the field here. We'll see what they do here. It's about 33 yards from the near side. We'll see what Erie does here. This is not a look we've seen on a set piece from the Commodores so far. Like I said, it's been a very clean physical game. Not a whole lot of free kicks to be given. This is Ellie Mills, number 8, who will stand over it here for the Commodores from the near sideline, with about everyone in blue and most in yellow on the far side of the 18-yard box. That is volleyed away, looking for Ingracia, still around, and there's a off-ball shove. They have some offsides as well. They're on the Commodores. So nothing coming there from that kick as we near an hour of time off the score clock here in our 60th minute. Vanderbosch off the far sideline, shouldered down by Weir. Juggled inside to Kolniszewski, tried to go back to her, but Robertson all over it for Erie. And the Commodores have done a much better job here so far, Mike, on this back line in the second half. Not a lot of time and space being given for those kind of build-up passing plays for FC Buffalo here so far. It's the way we saw Buffalo score both their goals. They're going to make the Wolves beat them a different way.
Yeah, it looks like Erie, instead of trying to mark a player right now, is trying to take away the lanes. They're trying to prevent that pass from going through instead of worrying about just the player.
Piniella holds it in on the near sideline, partially deflected down by Kolniszewski. A lot of players forward, and trying to get to it is DeAngelis. Catrona tried to spring her forward, but the player was just getting back to her feet, and by the time she was able to really regain her momentum, that ball had gone out for an Erie throw. Ball is loose, tapped forward by Woods, finds Catrona. Beautiful pass forward. It's Cornell in. Cornell around the keeper, and Robertson got across and knocked it out of play. All she could do, coming across on that far sideline. Cornell a foot away from a tap-in goal. A beautiful pass forward again by Catrona, but Cornell denied by great defense here from Erie's right back.
Yeah, Robertson has had a huge game, and that is probably one of the more important plays we'll see in order to keep this game within reach for Erie.
Catrona lost the handle there at the last moment, kept in front of her by DeAngelis, and backheeled out for another Buffalo throw. So a nice job there by DeAngelis, coming back into the play and recovering at least a throw out of that. As Buffalo's got to think they should have 3, maybe 4 on the board. Some really nice saves, an opportunity there gone astray. Beautiful pass back to Woods there by Catrona, surrounded by yellow jerseys, fighting for space forward. Recovered by DeAngelis and played back to Ford. Buffalo trying to keep this pressure on here now. Ford sends a searching ball forward towards Cornell, drops it in a bucket. Cornell trying to get there and bounce right into the hands of Yarrow, who had to be careful as Skylar Cornell's quick twitch speed creating that opportunity, and a nice ball in there from Tess Ford at the back for Buffalo.
Yeah, that was almost a perfect pass in there by Ford. Yarrow looked like she made a late decision that she wanted to take it herself instead of let the play unfold in front of her, and that was the right choice.
Yeah, I don't know if she would have gotten to that one had she let Cornell put a boot to it. Forward for Kolniszewski on the far side, back to Weir, trying to spring Catrona, and does. Catrona towards the area, had to turn herself back, still has it though. Catrona inside towards Kolniszewski, taken down, and that one is right outside the 18-yard box by a matter of feet. And this will be a dangerous spot here for this free kick here for FC Buffalo.
Yeah, you said a matter of feet. It's just outside, it's in about the 10-yard line on the American football field.
Yeah,
so
about
it's
a yard and a half.
Yeah, that was very close.
From the far side, and this one certainly could take direct, as you see Catrona talking with Kolniszewski, who will take this. Chips it back to Catrona, curls that one in, searching for it. Got under it just a hair and tucks it over the bar for a goal kick. Interesting design there on that free kick for FC Buffalo, and they got a pretty good look out of it. Don't think Erie was quite expecting that to be the result with the wall they had built in between the shooter and Yarrow. Paula Pinilla, who's been very involved on this near side here in the half, able to dodge around, and it's a foul on the Commodores as Cassia Bach took a bit of a shove there between the 2 and the 4 in the back of her jersey. Tess Ford will come forward here to take this free kick, and given the pass that she just sent to Cornell a few moments ago, you can understand why DeAngelis will defer to the longtime center back. Ford. Good torque to that one, a bouncing ball, but it's going to be a push back the other way on FC Buffalo. Kolniszewski trying to create some space. Giving a little bit of a shove there onto the shoulder of one of the Erie defenders, whose number I did not catch in that moment. And we go right back the other way. Just over the head of Woods onto the boot of Pinilla. Knocked down by DeAngelis. To the middle of the field, tap back to her by Kolniszewski. DeAngelis has the pass forward, and into the play here now, and getting there is Yarrow. And man, she has been reading the ball on these plays forward expertly. And really, in spite of the scoreline, Mike, it's hard to say that she does not deserve her kudos for the way that she has played in this match, keeping the scoreline where it is. Another play there where if she's more indecisive, it's an FC Buffalo player in for what feels like an automatic goal.
Yeah, and even the 2 goals that she's allowed, it would be very hard for her to have done anything in order to stop either of those because they were just perfect plays in front of her.
That one's on the far side. Robertson, who made a goal-saving play on Skylar Cornell a few minutes ago, charges that one forward. It is last off of Robertson. Nice play there made in defense in the midfield position there by Eileen Solomon, who's patrolling in that very similar to Danny Braun-Martinez kind of mold that exists in that defensive midfield position of the formation that the Wolves like to play. They were both out there for the first half, but we've seen a lot more of Solomon here in the second half. Here is Skylar Cornell. In the middle of the field, tangled up, lost possession. Fair play there to the Erie defense in spite of the protest to my right, and immediately recovered back by Vanderbosch. To clarify, when I said to my right, I meant the Situation Room, not Mike, who, if he disagreed, was a little less vocal about it. It's a throw for Buffalo on the near side. You gotta have fun on the broadcast, right? You have to listen to me talk for like an hour and a half. You gotta have a little levity. Kim Vanderbosch on the back line for FC Buffalo into our 67th minute of action. Still 2-0 to the Wolves. Forward towards Kolniszewski, going for a run, but she's going to run out of room. That's going to go out the back. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if FC Buffalo decides to go up the left side where Robertson is currently patrolling, even though she's had a good game, because she seems to be more activated on the attacking end down 2.
Woods got a head to it on that goal kick, but ended up finding a friendly boot anyhow, taken down by Bandura. Read well by Vanderbosch. This FC Buffalo defense just so aggressive on plays like this. There's confidence from the coach. Like, I trust you to make that play, go up the field, and we trust the rest of the back line to have your back if that ball goes back the other way. We've seen it from DeAngelis. We've seen it from Weir time and time again. We see it there from Vanderbosch. Speaking of, here's Claire DeAngelis. Curling that ball in, tucked far side. Cornell on the end of it. Skylar Cornell! Goal! It felt inevitable, the looks that she's had, truly. It's a third goal finally for the Wolves, one they felt they may have had, should maybe deserved a few times prior. They've increased the lead on the board. It's 3-0 to the home side in their return to All High.
Yeah, it's another through ball that gets through the center of Erie's defense. And this time Cornell finishes off from probably a better angle than the first 2 were scored from by Allmark.
And a beautiful through ball that was there, Mike, by Claire DeAngelis from her right back position to spring Cornell forward. Just curls it through the back line, tucks it neatly towards the top of the 18-yard box, and from there, it's elementary for FC Buffalo's number 7. And you talk about the finishing that Nikki Bartholomew was really looking for in training and certainly in practice here this week. The results of that have been very positive for the Wolves here so far. Just about 20-plus minutes now away from taking more points away from Erie on this field, a tale as old as time. And not a whole lot you could ask of McKenna Yarrow there, and maybe the end of the night for Yarrow. I was going to point out a moment ago, Rebecca Winslow, who's the other goalie here today for Erie, was warming up, and it appears that now she will be checking into the game. Cameron coming back in as well for Erie, and that's Jamie Seneca, number 10, who was a halftime substitute. Curled in, knocked down by Ford. Almost a handball there. It's like a bad ricochet, and Ford just plays it out for a throw. Will be a trio of changes here when they're granted by the head official, which they have not been yet. Now they have. So Yarrow's day is likely done, and in spite of the scoreline, a quality effort there for number 14 in goal. It is Rebecca Winslow. She wears number 24 in the Big Keepers uniform here today. As it was Seneca, and now will be Kirsty Cameron, number 21, who will check in as well for the Commodores, who have a throw in an offensive position here in our 70th minute. Pinala knocked down, slid forward by Cassia Bach into the wall of yellow 30 yards out of goal as the Commodores keep the pressure on. Partially blocked down there by DeAngelis, played forward. It's another Erie throw. That one is knocked away. Wood slides forward, near side, lots of space to be had in front of Catrona, who swings it back in the direction of Skylar Cornell. Robertson there with her, marking her all the way. We'll send it up the far side. 70 minutes come and gone here at All High, and FC Buffalo must feel now on the heels of that third goal scored by the aforementioned Skylar Cornell that this one is firmly in their control. And Erie hoping that mayhaps, much like their first 4 games, they have 3 goals yet to score. Winslow plays back for Robertson. Pair of FC Buffalo subs set to check on here. We'll get you those numbers as soon as they are not covered by the green pennies on the jerseys as well. Coming in, Mulholland aggressively on top of the area to scoop that ball up. The remaining Buffalo subs we haven't seen so far today are Grace Kolniszewski, Izzy Schmidt, and Gwen Giroux, as well as Agnes Stenland in goal. Wouldn't imagine Mulholland will get pulled, but
it's going to be Allmark and Giroux, 3 and 12.
Thank you, Mike. It's a real team effort up here. It's funny, Mike and I had never called a sporting event really together, just the two of us, before we started doing these games. And now we've done it long enough that we've got like a calm rapport to it. It feels easy now. And there indeed, Linda Allmark with a pair tonight on, as well as Gwen Giroux, who will come on for Vanderbosch. And it's Morgan Kolniszewski who will come off for Allmark, who perhaps is looking to add to what is already an amazing debut with a pair of goals 15 minutes into her FC Buffalo debut. If she could become the second FC Buffalo player to record a hat trick here this week. Getting very involved in the action early there. That one's volleyed out for a Buffalo throw. Into our 73rd minute we go. That one's knocked right back out for another throw. Making their way incrementally, step by step up the sideline here. Back in by DeAngelis. Back down. It's another throw, this time though to Erie. Pinilla. Bouncer back in. Knocked down and played back. Cerniak charges that one forward, but it's over everyone, and that will roll to the Erie bench for a Buffalo throw. Cassia Bach across the field here now. There's the first touch for Gwen Giroux. Gets tangled up and taken down. Referee's going to play advantage on that contact because Weir's got a lot of space on that far side to slide that pass forward. Cornell's going to make a run for it, but before she will be able to get there, Winslow well off her line. Don't ask me where I got Whitaker from. She's not on either of these teams. Rebecca Winslow off the line to scoop that one away. chip back out for another Buffalo throw, and this game, which has had a pretty good pace for the first 70 minutes, has slowed to a crawl here over these last 2.
Well, obviously Buffalo can't complain about that as they're trying to bring a 3-goal lead home. So every second that goes off the clock is a second closer to the victory.
They're not quite parking the bus, but it is in neutral. Woods off a leg out for another throw. DeAngelis back forward into Sarah Woods, trying to get around her mark towards the back line, and that is out, and that's a corner. As Piniella, not sure if she made contact before or after trying to shoo it out of bounds. It'll be the 5th corner of the match here to FC Buffalo from the near side.
Yeah, I'm not sure Piniella knew that she had made contact with it the way she tried to shield it continuously until it went out of bounds.
And Linda Allmark, who took all the corners in the first half, takes this one as well. A low drive that is volleyed out of trouble. Taken out of the air by DeAngelis. Some space to be had in counterattack with the ball too close to the Buffalo bench. Or Nikki Bartholomew will slow it down, and we have a pair of subs, and I will eat my words, as indeed Bridget Mulholland will see a little bit of an early rest here tonight at the end of a quality game for her, as Agnes Stenlund will come into goal, and that is Grace Kolniszewski, number 14, who will come on up top for the captain, Catrona. 74 quality minutes, as calm and collected as ever with a pair of assists for FC Buffalo's number 8. We mentioned earlier already, well into this 3+ year career here at Catrona, the leader in pretty much every measurable department save for saves in FC Buffalo history. Will be a Buffalo throw here again, and both teams really starting to empty the bench here now. Another trio of Erie subs to come on here. Bouncer played down, taken here by Grace Emanuel. Up the near side, space to be had. Here comes Mills. Mills into the action, trying to get around the slide, and that one will tuck out for a throw. Just shy of the flag, and a trio of Erie subs. That is Alejandra Tavares checking back in. That is Kelly Caccioni checking back in. I didn't get the third. I believe that's Olivia Dixon. Yeah, Olivia Dixon, number 19. I believe that'll be her first action of the match. Towards the back line. What a play by DeAngelis to get it out for a goal kick. Just taps it off the boot of Mills forward there. And that will give Stenlund her first touch of the ball here in this match.
Yeah, there wasn't much room to operate down there in the corner, so any deflection, and she was tightly marked, so there wasn't really any room for anything other than the ball to bounce right back off or to go back over the end line.
Izzy Schmidt, who is, I believe, the last player on the Buffalo bench, is loosening now for the Wolves. On the far side, FC Buffalo back forward, it is Skylar Cornell. Dips the shoulder inside, sends the pass forward in the direction of Grace Kolniszewski, but it's scooped up there by Winslow. And indeed, here comes Izzy Schmidt, and here comes Gianna Tozzolino. Both coaches utilizing this opportunity here to utilize the re-entries and get some different looks, some different minutes in different situations for their teams here. Still, it's hard to say early in the season, although it is very early. It's just such a short season. All these games mattering so much. And FC Buffalo will be happy to try to ride this one out these last 13+ minutes, get back to their winning ways, which have become so commonplace. But like we talked about coming back from half, Mike, it wasn't so commonplace last week. So they will be happy to see a little more finishing here today than they saw in that defeat to Steel City.
Yeah, it's not normal to see a 1-goal game from this FC Buffalo team. So to come back with a 3-goal effort in the 78th minute, it's got to be a welcome sight for the coaching staff.
And certainly could have been more. Could have been more than even just the 3, considering the chances they had that were denied or just went a hair wide. Or you think about that play by Robertson on Cornell. That was a walk-in with the goalie out of goal. Easily forward tonight. That one a low chopper on, and a first save of the match for Stenlund. He rolls it back near side here. Give and go with DeAngelis. Giroux. No real rush here amongst the Buffalo team. No need to. Time is on their side. Stenlin sends it up the near side. Dixon knocks it down for Erie. Back here for Christy Cameron. Taken away here. Played back across. Bach. Forward. Lot of space in attack here now for the Wolves. Slid forward and through. And in on goal for history and a trio in her debut for Hallmark, who slots it home for the hat trick. And it's 4-0 to the Wolves. A debut she won't likely forget. And a remarkable game on the field for maybe 40 minutes. And a trio of perfectly placed shots to her name.
This is a debut to remember, a hat trick. First two very early in the game, first minute, 14th minute. Allmark gets her third in the 79th minute, but after being on the field, after being subbed back in for about 5 minutes earlier.
So it is Weir who will come off for Izzy Schmidt, and also it is Solomon coming off here for Tuzzolino, both players who went the previous 79 plus. Another quality game in midfield slash left back there by Aaron Weir. So often the catalyst of attack, and really good game. Really enjoyed the game in the various midfield positions there as well today by Solomon, especially the way that she looked and the defensive middle there in the second half. Just very calm. Reminds me a lot of her teammate here in this match, Danny Braun Martinez, and the way that she handled those kind of plays. And there is the now captain armband wearing Tess Ford, who will tap it back here for DeAngelis. On the near side for Sarah Woods. Sent that one forward. Allmark had taken a step back towards the play, so was not able to attack that ball as we've crossed 80 minutes gone by here in our match. 4-0 to the Wolves. And for Linda Allmark, she scored one in the first minute. She scored one in what felt like her first minute back on the field in the 79th minute. One in the 15th minute as well to complete the hat trick. Only not a natural hat trick by the Skella Cornell goal in the 65th minute. Nice pass there by Allmark. Woods, not a lot of real estate given to her here on the near side. Fighting for positioning, but can't get to it. And you just wonder where this FC Buffalo team continues to find these attackers just to plug and play next to Carissa Catrona up top. Because year over year, it's not always the same group, but year over year, they have brought a team here that has shown some offensive firepower to this home crowd. Back forward now it's Grace Kolniszewski, but she's offsides. The home crowd won't like it, but the official on the near side is correct.
Yeah, she was running basically running step by step with Cernick to, and just basically about a half a step off.
82nd minute here now. All over but the shouting, it feels like. Erie has not been able to muster a whole lot of offense here in the second half. And you talk about the finishing, certainly Nikki Bartholomew will be happy with that, but she also has to be happy with the way they defended a team that has scored consistently against all their previous opponents. That one's out for an Erie throw. They stand as the first team to limit Erie to less than 3 goals, and I'm not a jinx, but they could do even better than that. I believe the announcer's jinx is alive and well, and I will not talk about it. The same way you don't talk about a perfect game, you don't talk about a no-hitter, we don't talk about what's happening in the net down to the left. Kasia Bach plays across the field to an empty area. That one's away from Tuzzolino. Charging forward is Izzy Schmidt. It's off of Erie for a Buffalo throw. Bach, Schmidt. One more time off Erie for a throw. Izzy triggers it back in. Bouncer taken forward there by Tuzzolino. Ricochets around and back out again. We talked in the first half about maybe some question marks to be had about the goalkeeping for Buffalo, but felt like a pretty good night at the office there for Bridget Mulholland. A couple really nice saves, especially one at 2-0 about half hour in that could have definitely helped write a different story for this game had she not made that quality save.
Yeah, Mulholland hasn't had a lot of opportunities coming into this season, being behind Vanderbosch last season. So I think the more opportunities she has, it's helping her confidence, especially making a huge save like she did to keep the score at 0.
That one chipped forward. Chance here between the defenders, and that is a cut and dry foul there on Claire DeAngelis, who was not called for it. So ignore what I just said. Referee plays on, calling it maybe a little bit of tugging on the jersey both ways, and now DeAngelis will have it. Felt like she got away with undercutting the Erie forward there. Back to it again are the Wolves. Cornell leaves back on the far side. Schmidt charge into it in the direction of Grace Kolniszewski, off a leg and off for throw. Into our 85th minute, we tick forward here now. Back to Tess Ford on the back line for Buffalo. Sends that one forward. Woods on the end of it. Sarah Woods at the other end. Ball got through. It's still loose underneath her. Stands back in front. Ricochets around in front. Goal! Signed, sealed, and delivered to Skylar Cornell with the easiest goal she will ever score to make it 5-0. Sarah Woods, who was all but escorted in, walked her way through, and if they come easier than that one for FC Buffalo's number 7, I haven't seen it. 5-0 to the Wolves, who have matched the 5 that the FC Buffalo men's side put up on their return to this field on Tuesday. And now they have put the icing on the proverbial cake. Second of the match for Skylar Cornell, assuming it didn't cross the line before she gave it the slightest of taps. And the young fans who played at halftime and have been singing along with the Situation Room are marching and having the time of their lives here in the crowd tonight. It is an infectious energy.
Yeah, for a while they were leading Let's Go Buffalo chants in front of the Situation Room.
Here's Woods one more time. She got another nice setup in her, trying to get one of her own. That's out the back, and that's a corner. Appeals for a penalty from the Situation Room, and that one is borderline enough that I don't think you're going to get that from our head official in a 5-0 game. This will be the 6th corner of the match for the Wolves, who have in fact gone marching in here today. That one, some arc to it to the back post, but away from everyone. Kept alive by Schmidt, charged back into Tuzzolino, who knocks it down in the area, but out the back for a goal kick. Yeah, the ball girls on the chance too now. Everyone's involved. Everyone's happy to be back here at All High. 87th minute as DeAngelis, who has played a high-quality game defensively, has an assist and some great offensive plays as well, triggers it back in, taken away from Kolniszewski by Dixon. There's just something to be said about being back here. I know we talked about it earlier. It feels different being at games here.
Well, also, you know the energy is going to be here no matter what. With it being the home opener and kind of an island in between this FC Buffalo women's team is going to play all their road games before they play their next home game.
It will be a long time before we're back here with you on June 29th for the next FC Buffalo women's home tilt. And they play 3 in 9 days from there on to wrap up the regular season. Back here as well on July 5th and July 7th for their home finale. Cutting in, chance out on a diving block made by Giroux to keep the 0 on the board. I'm not sure that Stenlett had a chance of that one had Giroux not dove in. And here come the Wolves back forward one more time. Here is Grace Kolniszewski. She's got Skylar Cornell on the doorstep of a hat trick, back in possession now. Cornell slides forward to the far side. Schmidt going for a run to it. Izzy charges that one in, and that one off the upright. And they don't count in this sport much as they don't count in the American variety if you hit it over there. Out for a goal kick. 89th minute of action. Feel like it'll be a relatively low number on the stoppage time counter here. Made it 89 minutes, no cards, very few fouls. Slowed down by Jarosz. On the far slide, slides that one ahead to Tuzzolino. Tuzzolino trying to cut inside, still with it. Tuzzolino back here. Taken down with some time there by Ullmark. Back to it one more time to Ford. Utilizing the space and time given. Forward to Sarah Woods. Near side, DeAngelis. DeAngelis ricochets. Kolniszewski to her left, curling ball in, off ahead, played down, dangerous look for Tuzzolino, had it drilled off her foot at the last moment, and she will be called for the foul there as well for some additional contact. Into our 90th and final pre-stoppage time minute here now. And the Wolves have reacquainted themselves with the field here at All High rather well.
You couldn't ask much more for not only a bounce back from the game against Steel City, but you could not ask much more for a home opener as well. 5 goals so far, not conceding any. You just can't ask for more.
Mike, we can't talk about the clean sheet because when Erie scores, we're going to look bad. Into stoppage time we had here at All High Stadium on a beautiful day turn night here in the 716. A couple of quick fouls there by the Wolves, a quick succession. I did not hear Nick Mendola's announcement of stoppage time. So we're going to wing it, folks. It's what we do best here. Erie hoping for one last foray offensively here into stoppage time in our second half. Dribbled back across and chipped forward, a bouncing ball and a foul on Buffalo, and I thought they might play advantage there. It's a pretty good look. 33 yards out away from Stenlund, basically dead center, slightly left now on this free kick. The wall will form about 2 yards on top of the box. And Erie will try to draw this up here. They'll take it direct, and that one is just over the bar. I believe it did get the fingertips there of Stenlund. Indeed, it did. That's a really nice shot there, as Kirsty Cameron put a pretty good jolt into that one.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fingertips of Stenlund, that might have had a chance to just dip under the bar.
4th corner of the match for Erie from the far sideline. Low drive into traffic, volleyed out overhead. There by Kasia Bach, taken by Skylar Cornell, and that will wrap this one up. A pair in the first half, a trio in the second half, including a trio in her own right. In her FC Buffalo debut for Linda Ullmark, a pair for Skylar Cornell, and a clean sheet for Mulholland and Stenlund. A 5-0 final score here to the Wolves, returning to All High and taking down the rival Erie Commodores here tonight in what really felt like a great team effort, and something that the coaching staff will be much happier about at both ends of the field, finishing at one end and defending well at the other.
Yeah, I think if they wanted, I think the only thing that the coaching staff might have a complaint about is about the middle 10 to 15 minutes just coming out of halftime. They were a little bit sloppy on passing, but even on the fly, they fixed that up. They got that cleaned up. They got back in their first half form, and they finished out the game the way they needed to.
And again, FC Buffalo's women's side has a lot more road action before they come back here. Our next broadcast for FC Buffalo women's side will be part of a double header here on June 29th on Saturday, 2 weeks from today. We return to broadcast, or I should say Mike returns to broadcast here. FC Buffalo's men's side back here on Wednesday night, June 19th, as they host perennial powerhouses Fort Wayne here on what promises to be the hottest broadcast that we have ever done in the stands at All High. Until then, for our friends at Western New York Media behind the cameras and the broadcast, making this all possible for us, Mike Babcock to my right, and everyone here at FC Buffalo. My name is Jeff Boyd. Everyone stay well, and we'll talk to you soon.